Have you ever looked at your bank account and wondered, how did I get here? Well, today on Vlogmas Day 6, we're going to talk about how I feel you. I've been there too, and I wrote a whole book about it. Hey, goalies. Welcome back to the channel. Today is Vlogmas Day 6, and I can't believe this week has gone by as fast as it has. But today is extra special because we're talking about my book, Budgets, Mindsets, and Money Moves. But before we dive in, first, make sure you hit the like, subscribe. And if you want to catch down to earth money and home buying tips, make sure you hit the bell notification too, so you know when I drop another video. But I do want to let you know this is not just another finance book, okay? This is a book about real money conversations and situations. You know what's wild? While I was writing this book, I found myself just thinking back to myself, some of my own money struggles and times when I felt like I felt like I was lost in my finances, and I didn't think that it was okay to talk to other people about it. I felt ashamed. I felt like they were going to judge me or look down at me. And so I suffered in silence. I was embarrassed to ask for help. I thought that, I would be a burden to them if I asked somebody else for help, and I would be putting all my troubles and problems on them. So I went through it alone, which probably caused me to take much longer than it could. But that's exactly why every single page of this book, it comes from a place of real experiences, because I wanted to think about the emotions I felt, just the things that I had to face alone, self-inflicted. But I know it's other people out there like me who might be going through these problems and issues and struggling with them alone. Your money tip for today is making sure you review your statements, and you're reviewing your statements for a couple of things. One, when you're creating a budget, it's best to go look at your bank statements as well as your credit card statements to make sure that you have all of the money you spent and where, and you can account for everything. Second, you want to check your subscriptions. Are there any subscriptions on there that might be being charged that you don't know is being charged? Something you hasn't used in 6 months and don't plan on using that needs to be canceled. And then of course, like I talked about in the video, look and see where you spent your money. Did you spend it on travel? Did you spend it on restaurants, food delivery, entertainment? Where is the big chunk of your Vex money, spending money? Where is it going? That's important because that's how you can start to look at your spending habits if you want to make any changes to them. Or when you're looking for money, you know where it is. Make sure you're checking your bank statements as well as your credit card statements. All right, let's get back to the video. The book has 3 different sections, and the main points of it, of course, budgets, mindsets, and money moves. And they all go hand in hand and they all work together. So let's talk budgets. And don't fight me. Don't fight me. Don't come for me in these comments. So it does not matter if you call it a spending plan, a debt repayment plan, a financial plan, whatever you call it. If you are deciding, okay, this money is going over here, this money is coming in, and then it's going to go over there, it's a budget. So it's best to, instead of trying to change the word, let's change your mindset about the word. But we'll talk about that in section 2. So section 1, talking about budgets. The first thing that I think that is not talked about enough is budgets. They're not all the same. All budgets are not created equal. Think about it. When you were learning how to ride a bike, how many times did it take you? Did you get on the bike the first time and then now all of a sudden you was an expert and you was doing tricks and all the kids in the on the playground was like, man, whoa? No, Even with training wheels, it wasn't like that, was it? You had to try it again. You had to try it over and over again. You had to put effort in it. You had to put energy in it, right? You fell, you got back up, you scratched your knees. Coming back, just coming back. Or even if you have children, you saw and experienced the same thing with your children. Budgeting is the same thing. It's going to take time. It might take you a couple of times, it might take 2 or 3 for you to get into a groove. You also have to remember there are different types of budget. It's not only one budgeting method. There are multiple ways. So you have to use the type of budget that matches your lifestyle, your values, and that's going to be a better way for you. But it might take you a couple of times to figure out what those are, and that's okay. It's completely normal, completely normal. Now, digging into the second section of the book, it talks about mindsets. And this is to me where it gets good, because you can talk about budgeting, you could talk about money moves, but your mind is what's controlling all of it. Your mind is the puppet master who's controlling where the money is going and controlling what moves are being made with the money. I'm just saying. It changed everything for me to realize how much my mindset controlled how I was spending. The first truth bomb, is none of us know everything. I know, I have to do it. I have to be honest. I mean, we keep it real on this channel. So I'm sorry. I hate to be the one to let you know, but you don't know everything. Maybe you're crushing it with saving. Maybe you're crushing it with other parts of your money, but you don't know quite how to budget or where all of your money is going, or you don't know how to invest. And so you have apprehensions about investing. So you've never tackled it or attempted to invest. Being mature enough and having experienced enough growth to understand that it's okay to ask for help in those areas that you don't know everything. It's okay to admit that you don't know everything and not suffer in silence like I did. So that's why I'm here helping and educating and being true to myself and walking in my purpose by letting you know that it's okay. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to seek help. And it's okay to express when you don't know something. You might be looked at everybody else as having it all together, but that does not put any obligation on you to actually have it all together. I'm just saying. So, when you want to learn something, when you have a skill that you feel like you lack, or maybe you just need help with it, maybe you just need another skill to complement the skills that you already have, seek help. It's not a weakness. It doesn't make you weak because you sought help from somebody else. It actually is a superpower, because that means that you have the ability to see where you lack, find somebody to help, pick the right person to help, and then delegate that task. Now, the second mindset shift that I feel like really helped me and changed my life was adjusting my mindset from a scarcity mindset to a growth mindset. And I had a scarcity mindset because I grew up experiencing poverty, food scarcity, and that carried on with me into my adulthood. And so I would buy things like they were running out. I would spend unnecessary money on things. And I can go down a whole list. If you want me to make a video about that, drop it in the comments. But I can go down a whole list of things that I did because I was operating in a scared mindset. Opportunities that I didn't take, promotions I didn't apply for, speaking engagements that I didn't apply for, until I had to change to a growth mindset. So instead of thinking like, oh, I will never be able to do this, I will never have enough, this isn't possible, how will I ever get this done? You had to change that mindset to start thinking like, how can I learn to grow what I have? How can I learn to get the more money that I need to get? How can I learn how to get this done? You see what I'm saying? So you're shifting your mindset as opposed to already counting yourself out, giving yourself excuses and reasons why it's not possible, instead of thinking in your mind, what do I need to do to make it happen? So to me, that was another mindset shift that I had to make, I needed to make, especially as I became a business owner. Because when you're in business and you're selling things to people, you need to be getting paid for the amount of time, energy, effort, and value that you're providing. And as long as you continue to operate in a scarcity mindset, you're going to be getting undervalued, and you will be the one undervaluing yourself. You won't be able to blame anybody else. But we're going to keep moving. Next, we have money moves. And this section is more practical. It gives you more tips and tricks about things that are practical for you to do. So at the end of every chapter, it has 2 actionable steps that you can take expeditiously, in my TI voice. Now, one of my favorite money moves that I think is very important, and I think you can do it. Hell, you could probably pause the video to do it, to be honest. Go and do a bank transaction audit. So look into your bank statement or look at your credit card statement and see what you spent your money on, let's just say for the last 30 days. Does that align with your goals? Does the transactions and things that you have spent money on in the last 30 days match with the goals that you have been putting out saying that you want to do? And if they don't, this is not a blame game. This is not an opportunity to point any fingers. This is not an opportunity to start like critiquing yourself or feeling down about yourself. It's just a more of a revelation type moment. It's an enlightening moment so that you can start being more mindful so that your transactions can start matching your goals. And I'll give you a actionable tip about how to do that in just 1 second. If you want to save money, your savings should be growing. You should be able to look at your account and see, like, every time you got paid, you put a small amount in your savings and it stayed there. If that's something that you're not seeing and that's one of your goals, then that's just more of an eye-opening moment. Okay, what am I going to do about this? So not a blame game, not a point fingers. It's more of a, okay, something's got to give. It's time to make some changes. All right. Now, I'll read a little bit. I'm going to pick somewhere to read. Okay, bam. Changing your relationship with money. A money mindset is considered your feelings and beliefs about money. The mindset you hold around money can identify why you use money the way that you do, whether positive or negative. This applies both ways. One of the reasons we take a deep dive in the Money Moves course is the ways we spend and to identify the root of our money habits. It's hard to solve the problem without discovering where it came from. Sometimes money habits go all the way back to our childhood. Do you know why you spend money even though you know you really shouldn't be spending it? It's okay though. The one thing we are not going to do in this book is beat ourselves up about our financial mistakes. Mistakes are a part of growth and learning. The goal is to learn from them. Take a moment and think about what money means to you. How high is having money on your list? Do you use it properly when you have it? Ooh, I picked the perfect one. It aligns with, is your money listening to your goals? Your goals are talking, but is your money listening? Is your bank account following those goals? And if it's not, what can you do starting today to change that? Okay. So, you know what's funny? While writing this book, I kept thinking about my younger self and thinking about what would I need? Like, what would have been nice to have? Because when I first, started my money journey, it was before Google, it was before YouTube University, it was before a lot of those things. So all I had was physical books that I could order, and then I would highlight them, and I would, go through them, highlight them, old school. And that's the only option I had. And so most of the books that I had, they talked about the steps. They talked about how to do this. You do step 1, you write down your expenses. Step 2, you write down your income. But it doesn't say anything about actually digging into what beliefs do I have about money? Where did they come from? How does my own self-confidence or lack thereof play in my self-sabotaging activities that derail my money goals? Those are the type of questions that you should be talking to yourself and asking yourself about, having your eyes and ears open to analyze. And that's why I created this book. Now, sorry, here's something that I told you I would give you an actionable step. Here's your actionable step. Create micro goals. If you have big goals that seem lofty and it seems scary and they seem like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm ever going to accomplish this. And woo, oh my God, that's a good thing because your goals should scare you. You should be aiming high. But I recommend you break them down in micro goals. Okay, what can I do this year? That's if I keep doing this, I'm gonna do this year, I'm gonna do that next year, I'm gonna do that in the third year. And by 5 years, I'll have this accomplished. That's how you break it down. Okay, so if this is my goal that I got to get done by the end of this year in order for that to happen in 5 years, okay, so what can I do each month? What do I need to have each month accomplished, completed, so that by the end of the year, I meet this goal? Because if I meet this goal by the end of the year, it's going to help me accomplish that goal in 5 years. That's how you have to think about your goals. Okay, what can I do this week? What can I do every 2 weeks when I get paid with my money that's going to result in me accomplishing this goal in 5 years? When you think about it that way, for one, you give yourself short wins, so it's more motivating along the journey. It helps you sustain the journey, so you have less moments of discouragement because you're constantly having something that you're accomplishing, but all of it is a part of the bigger goal. So this is the way that you can tackle your financial goals to make sure that you're successful and you can achieve the financial stability that you desire and deserve. All right, I'll get off my soapbox. There you have it. If any of this resonated with you, please drop a heart in the comments. The book goes way deeper into, of course, these 3 sections and topics, which you can tell by the small snippet that I did decide to read. I've linked everything in the comments. In the description below. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And I'll catch you tomorrow on the next episode of Vlogmas.